Hello and welcome back to the Honest Lab Horror Show, the show that we bring to you each and every Friday night. Ted, why do we do this on a Friday night?
Friday night is horror night.
But I'll introduce everybody. Ted, welcome back, sir. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, yeah. Always good to be back and jump on the odd horror show here and there.
And as for our guest this evening, this is Annie James. She is a highly popular social media content creator in the horror world. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
But Annie, tell us how you got started in the content creation world.
Well, I've been a horror fan forever, and it was actually a For the Love of Horror event that spurred on my wanting to document it more officially online. So I think it was the 2023 For the Love of Horror that I went to. It was the second time that I'd been. And just because I was like speaking to lots of people there and taking lots of content, I decided that actually after that I was going to make a dedicated Instagram and TikTok towards horror. I'd spoken about it previously on my personal accounts, but it's just friends and family on there and nobody really gives a shit about what I'm saying about horror. So I thought if I set something up, yeah, solely about horror, then people will follow if they like horror and hopefully can make some friends through it and build a bit of a community, and that's what's happened.
And now we're here.
And here we are.
Absolutely. But I noticed even from that was obviously the first con that I've ever been to, ever, for anything,
What, last year was the first time ever?
ever, yeah.
Oh wow, okay.
And I noticed like the amount of people that I'd known from obviously interacting on Instagram and stuff, but like
Yeah.
everyone was just ridiculously friendly.
The horror community are very friendly people, and like I said, I went on my own, met up with people that I've met through Instagram, bumped into you too, and then we became friends. So yeah, it's nice. The every time I've been to For the Love of Horror, I've made new friends every time that I've become good friends.
Absolutely, and like it was just it was a good round con all the same. But like going back to your Instagram, you've fairly popular following on there. So fair play to you for that.
Thank you.
Um, it might help that you're a female.
Do you
I,
think?
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with it might help that you're a female.
Okay. I do get a lot of abuse for being a female talking about horror.
I think
Uh,
it's a double-sided coin, like a double-edged
yeah,
sword, isn't it? Because as much attention as you would get for being female in a positive way in terms of getting followers and things like that, you're going to get just as much on the other side of you're a poser, you don't actually like horror, you don't belong here, sort of
Yeah.
stick like absolute nonsense.
yeah, yeah. And a lot of the time that does come from people who aren't following my account. It is just, rubbish accounts just trying to shit stir. Um, but there is very much a theme with the comments that it is directed at me being female. Not
I've
that I
no,
really care,
I've
but
no, I've noticed the ask me anythings or the anonymous ask me things.
oh, yeah,
Yeah,
they're interesting. I don't post half of the questions I get on there,
you
to be honest.
definitely should just for the crack.
No,
You don't have to
I
answer,
can't.
No.
but uh,
I always find it quite a weird thing though, because it's usually men that or like males or whatever saying, saying to a woman like you don't actually like horror, you're a poser, you don't. Why the fuck would you do that? Like,
Yeah.
why would you want it to be solely male based? Like, that is just it makes no sense to be gatekeeping it away from
Mm.
away from like women, because a lot of men are going to be attracted to women and then they're like, no, but don't like the things I like. What the fuck are you talking
Yeah.
about, you idiots? Like,
I wouldn't mind horror. Horror is a predominantly female led genre
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
why? Why is it predominantly female led?
because it's got all the pretty women.
Because it's good looking women and it's originally it's the concept was to market it to the people who are going to like horror, which was initially going to be men. So they were like, let's get good looking females to lead and be the support actresses. And then from that, you know, you got a lot of strong female characters, which would then naturally attract women to watching it, because they like, you know, a lot of other films from especially around the 70s and the 80s and stuff, the women were always a damsel in distress or weak-willed or soppy or whatever. So women were going to feel a gravitational pull towards these stronger characters. And
It's very bizarre. Yeah, I don't get it.
But sure, look, that's life, isn't it? It didn't matter whether you were a goth, Tim. Once you're a female, you're gonna get that no matter what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not just because I like horror. Women every day get abuse online, so I think whatever niche you're in, if you've got a platform, people are always going to come after you for something. Yeah, especially if you're a woman. So.
The Miz, you get a lot of nice gifts from places and stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I got loads of people that, you know, are very loyal supporters and have been there from the very start, you know. So it's definitely the good outweighs the bad.
absolutely, but that's going to be the same everywhere, isn't it? Even in terms of sport and stuff, you get a selection of bad people that just ruin it for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, luckily, yeah, I really don't care.
That's
I'm not bothered.
that's
It doesn't affect me. But you know, I'm sure it can for some people, and especially when you get a lot.
yeah. Well, sure. Look, that we can get the rant out of the way early. Hashtag justice for Annie. Leave her alone.
Let me watch horror films in peace.
get that lead. We need to get that
Right.
lead Brittany alone guy.
Yeah.
We need to get him.
Jesus.
What's he up to? Yeah, we need him.
Let's go. We might as well jump straight into some movies. Annie, give us some of your top 10 movies.
Ooh. All of the Scream films I love, apart from Scream 4.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. See,
what?
Ted. See.
This is a highly contested between us. So
Uh-oh.
I think Scream 3 is the worst of the entire genre. I think Scream 4 is better than 3.
False.
Yeah,
False.
I think they tried something new with 4, and I think it was okay. But I think 3 fell down the rabbit hole of its time, where they wanted to be really jokey and funny, and it just didn't work all that well. I kind of felt it was just a bit drab, and then the single killer just never really. I didn't think it worked as well with a single killer.
You know what? I've rewatched 4 a few times, like in the last few months, and I've come to the conclusion that it's not a bad film. The only thing that ruins it for me is casting Emma Roberts as Ghostface. I've just spoiled it for anybody who's listening to this. And
Well,
I mean, the
I mean,
movie
it's
came
true.
out in 2011.
I
So
know.
Yeah. You haven't watched it by now, it's no problem.
Personally don't think she's a good actor in general. So
oh,
when I learned that she was in this, I was a bit like, oh, and then I was just even more pissed off when she revealed herself as Ghostface, because that whole Act 3 thing, I think, is the most atrocious thing I've ever seen.
I would agree to a point, but I think Scream used that quite regularly. They done it in 5 as well, where they had the small petite girl as a killer who was throwing people around, and it just doesn't make any sense to it.
Yeah.
But if that's the worst that they do with it, it's not the worst. Although
Yeah.
she made a nice grisly end in 4 with the shocks to the
Oh
head.
yeah, clear. Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was okay, but it is the weakest for me in the franchise. I've got
For
it.
me too, yeah.
Yeah, I think my up-to-date ranking is 1, 6, 3, 5, 2, 4.
Whoa. We're out of the box now. We're out of the box.
Greg, you rank 3 quite high.
I have it 1, 5. So having rewatched them all recently, I've got 1, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, I thought you had yours higher.
No.
I thought you had 3 higher.
No. 2, I was hemming and hawing about, was it better than 6 or was it not better than 6?
I
And
love
then I'm him and Han about whether 6 was better than 5. But
Mm.
yeah, it's
6
second from the bottom.
6 for me, the big disappointment is I was saying for years that I couldn't wait for them to go to Three Killers. I
Mm.
thought that was the next evolution, and I was waiting for it for ages. And uh, well, anyone who hasn't seen it, that's your own fucking problem. So I'm going to spoil it. There's Three Killers, and I always thought that the old killer should have been Stu. I always felt that Stu should have been manipulating people, and it shouldn't have been the dad. I thought it would have been better if that had been Stu, and he'd manipulated two kids into to doing his dirty work.
I agree. I think that would have been better and I would have been more impressed. But I think there's so much stew talk that they just can't be
Yeah,
bothered with it.
they set it well. They set it up in that movie because they
Yeah,
mentioned them. They showed a picture. They showed the telly, and you're like, okay, yeah, it has to be now.
see, I
Yeah.
think
But
that always hurt 6 for me because that was it's an idea I've had, and I think I said it even before Scream 5 came out that I was like I really want a third killer, and I wanted to be Stu manipulating people from the background. And then we got it, and it wasn't Stu, and I was like, that's kind of spoiled it
it's
a bit for me.
harsh.
But I still rank it quite high. I still think it's a brilliant film. Just
Did you guess the killers in 6?
I guess
Uh,
1.
Okay.
I figured the sister would be 1.
In on it,
Didn't
yeah.
didn't think the brother. Thought he was too obvious. So I was
Yeah.
like, he's meant to be like oh, it's him, and then it's not him.
It was good though. I was very enjoyable, and I loved how vicious they made Ghostface in this one.
Brutal. Yeah.
That whole ladder scene as well was just
Oh,
I thought giving him the gun was huge.
yeah.
Letting him have a
Love
gun,
that
I was
shot.
like, holy shit, they've really gone off the wall here with this.
Yeah.
here we go. But they showed that in the ad, which I didn't like.
They always show too much, don't they, in the trailers?
Yeah.
Nevertheless, still a very good film.
Absolutely.
More horrors I love. Halloween, the original.
Absolutely.
Halloween 1 and 2. Ghost Ship. Oh.
Best opening scene in a horror movie ever.
Oh my God.
Straight facts.
And a lot of people say that I think the opening is so good that the rest of the film doesn't quite catch up to it. I disagree. I do think that the film is like 10 out of 10 for me. 13 Ghosts.
Love it. I actually got to sit down with C. Ernst Hart, who was the Great Child.
Oh my God. How was that?
That was awesome. C. Ernst is a gent.
Oh my God.
And
And they're talking about doing a series now, aren't they? 13 Ghosts.
They've been talking about that for years, so that actually exists on the DVD.
Does it?
Yeah, so if you go into the special features of the DVD, that's actually on that.
Oh, okay.
I think
where
there's
it goes
talk
into
of
the
doing another
background
one
and
though.
all.
Yeah.
I think there's a talk of doing a proper, like not a proper one, but like
Yeah, 13
like
episode one.
someone's gonna
Yeah.
do it, and there's like that's become a huge thing now. Like you're seeing a lot of this. Let's do a series. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I think it's all for the better because you can flesh out characters a lot more. Like sometimes a character you're just kind of like whatever about them, but you can kind of learn to love characters when you let them flesh out a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I would definitely be watching that if that comes out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now I'd love for them to bring C. Ernst back, but I don't know if that would happen. But like that man is an absolute gent.
Yeah.
Like I'd done the interview with him, and my young lad was having his tonsils taken out a week or two later. My young lad loves the Scooby Doo movies, and he plays Minor 49er in it.
Oh right.
So he sent him an autographed picture and a handwritten letter and everything.
Oh, that's so nice.
Like an absolute gent he is.
Oh, bless. But yeah, very good film. You're next.
Got to sit down with Elsie Holt as well, who was the lamb mask killer.
Such a good film.
Oh, that's clinically underrated.
It's yeah. I mean, the cast is great. I'll admit that I think, because I think is it like 2013 maybe, or maybe even before. I'll admit the only reason that I put it on is because I love Shani Vincent, the main girl, and she used to be in Home and Away, and I was a huge Home and Away fan. So when I knew that she was in it, I put it on. But yeah, such a good film. I do like that one.
I put it on by mistake. So
Oh,
I used to
what
work
were you
in the
looking
video
for?
shop. I used to work in the video shop, and I rented out something. I can't remember what it was, but the wrong disc was in the box.
Uh-huh.
So
And you
I
ended up
literally,
watching that?
I was like, well, I took it home. I might as well watch it now. I was like, I looked it up to see what it was, and it was like, it's a horror film. I was like, oh crap, I'll give it a go. It was awesome.
What had you intended on watching? Was it like a rom-com or something, and then you ended up with a horror?
No, I think it was Cabin in the Woods. I
Oh, okay,
wanted
no.
to take
It was
home.
just in there then. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, no. But it was in the wrong box. It was probably my own fault because I probably forgot to check the boxes when they got returned, and it backfired on me. But sure, look.
Oh,
Um. But yeah, I really enjoyed that now when I seen it.
yeah, really good. Cabin in the Woods, another one I love as well.
Oh,
Really good.
that's a special movie. That is.
Yeah, way ahead of its time. I just feel like
Mm,
a lot of people don't like it because they don't really get it. I don't know.
mm.
I think they expect something like Evil Dead, and it's not really evil because it's a cabin in the woods. And when it turns out that it's not like Evil Dead, they're like, well, what the hell is going on here with this modern weird take on it? But I think that's brilliant as well.
It
And
was
another film I absolutely love, one more, Men. Such a good film.
the Clive Owen one.
It's a recent one with oh, what's her name?
Oh, no, that's Children of Men, isn't it?
It's a yeah, that is that one. It's an A24 movie. Oh, she's Jessie something her name is. Oh.
Let me look up here.
Man, I don't think I've seen that.
Jesse Buckley.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I think
Oh
I mentioned
my
it to you
God.
before, Greg. I
What a
think
good
I
film.
wanted to. I was going to go see it in the cinema, and then I just didn't end up going seeing it in the end.
Have you watched it
Oh
though?
yes.
I haven't seen it yet. No, my plan was to go see it in the cinema, and then it went in and out of the cinema really quickly.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's incredible.
our cinema's fucked over here. You might come in for a day and then it'll be gone.
Oh no. Oh yeah, please watch that one.
Yeah,
It's one of my favorite ones in recent years.
yeah, no,
I'll
it's on my
definitely pop
list,
that
all
on the
right.
list. Anything A24 is golden at the minute.
Yeah. It's divided people a bit because well, I don't want to go into it, but let's just say men and women have different thoughts on it. So I'd be
I'll get
interested
back to you.
yeah, I'd
Well
be
then,
interested.
this is the one, not quite a horror. How did you find Barbie? Good or bad?
Excellent, loved it.
All right. Well, we're gonna have different opinions on that movie, so because Barbie was atrocious.
I gave it 5 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Oh, I thought it was
Um,
awful. But we
I
won't get
haven't
into
watched it yet, but it's one that I do mean to watch as well. I think a lot of people dislike it because it goes a bit politicky. From what I've
That didn't
read,
bother me.
but like that's kind of like what it's meant to be, and it's also like it's meant to be a bit of a parody of what it is. So like I'm not like I was never expecting much from it. The only thing I expected, and it didn't happen, which annoyed me before the film came out, was that they didn't get the license for the Aqua song Barbie Girl.
Oh yeah, that was just
When I heard that wasn't done, I was like, now listen, if you're going to be paying Margot Robbie, like that's a lot of money to be getting Margot Robbie and these people in, just give Aqua their money. All right, the song deserves
Pay
to be
pay
there.
the group.
Yeah, they deserve that. They deserve it, you know?
yeah, I'll agree with you on that. I was disappointed by that too. But no,
There's so
I
it's gonna be one of those movies then, is it? That's dividing everyone's opinion.
it's similar. Yeah, I think similar with men. I think the movie Men, men and women will view that differently. And when I've spoken about it on my channels, it's quite obvious that men don't like it and women do like it. So, it's just one of those films but like the Barbie movie, I think is catered more towards women watching it than men, isn't it? So,
Well, I don't know. You get Margot Robbie as the main, and it's catering to men too.
yeah, until they
I think
actually
the
watch
core,
it and they
I
realize
think the core
what the
concept,
message
yeah,
is.
the core concept is women.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, well obviously, like theoretically, Barbie dolls are made for women to play with or girls to play with, so it is what it is. But like there's some good movies in there. Now out of that list, I've only not seen one of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah, anything like early 2000s, Black Christmas. I love the Black Christmas 2006.
oh, not the '06 one. No,
Yeah, it's one of my favorites of
that's
all
it. I'm
time.
ending this now. It's over.
Why don't you like that one?
Do you know what? At a stage when I watched it, I had liked the original one so much that I think maybe because it was a remake at the time, I let it affect my judgment to it. And I've been known to do that from time to time.
Yeah.
And I make it quite public that I do it. I pick it off and be like, no, don't like it. No, I'm not as bad as our other co-host Carl. He fucking hates almost every remake that's ever made.
Oh God. Well, I watched the '06 one before I watched the original, so maybe that's why I've got
See, that's where you might get it. Now, am
Yeah.
I right in that one? That's the one where he gets his thumbs and he sticks them into one's eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There was some cool scenes in it now, if I remember rightly, and he killed
Yeah.
someone with the fluorescent light and stuff.
Fluorescent
That
light.
one? Or the Christmas lights.
Oh, like wraps him around a neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a thing about eyes, isn't he? And like
Yeah.
plastic bags and stuff, and like pulling
Yeah.
them up. There's a really good scene. I don't know whether because there's two versions of it.
Oh,
Because one of them's got they've got two different endings as well. One of them, there's a really cool scene where he gouges out the girl's eyeballs and he drags her down the hall as like a bowling ball sort of thing.
I've seen that one.
You've seen,
I've
yeah,
seen
yeah.
that one. Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, I love that film.
That's such a massive like early 2000s thing of let's make more than one ending to a film. Like that was really
Yeah.
popular at the time. Loads of films then were like, oh, we have alternate endings, and I was like, why the fuck? What happened in the 2000s that they were
Yeah.
like, we need to film like 3 or 4 different endings to every film because 1408 is one I love, and that's exactly the same. There's like 3 different endings to it.
Oh, is there? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I had
Ted got a nice drunken phone call off me about that.
Yeah, he was like, what the fuck? This isn't how this film ends. And I was like, yeah, no, that's one of the alternate endings. And he was like, what? I was like, yeah, it depends where you watch it. There's like 3 different endings to the film.
That's it, because there's same with The Descent, isn't there? There's 2 endings. There's a UK and a US one. I don't actually know like which one I've seen because I've only seen one ending, I think. And I don't know whether it's the well, I assume it's the UK one, but I don't know.
I didn't know there was a second ending to The Descent.
There
and
is.
I sat down and interviewed Neil Marshall.
Oh.
I'd say you've seen the UK one. Like the
UK
US
one is the one where she gets out and then gets clattered at the end of it.
Right, okay. The one I've seen is where it's all a hallucination. At the end.
Fuck, I gotta go and check that out now.
Yeah. No, like
I'm due to rewatch it anyway, so I'll try and pick that one off.
1408 had one where there's like at the end they go to the site where they bury everyone, or like they go to the graveyard and the kid can see him in the
rear view mirror.
In the rear view mirror. So that's one of the endings. And then one of the endings, he isn't dead at all.
Yeah, he's just with his family.
He's just back with his family. He got out, and that was the end of it. And I was like, well, that's a shit ending. Like I thought the best thing was the fact that, you know, the room drove him to eventually be like, right, I'm going to burn the whole room out, and like I'm going to sacrifice myself. And I was like, what a shit fucking cop out to like, yeah, he got out and got back to his family. All right, yeah, thanks. That really makes the film really important.
And then obviously then we're getting the change up from I Am Legend. They're not going to use the theoretical ending to force the second one.
Oh, okay. I don't know about that.
So there's a second ending on the DVD where, do you know, where they're running at the glass and he has a grenade.
Yeah.
He just comes in. The creature comes in and takes the girl.
Right.
And Will Smith survives.
Right.
Yeah.
And now Will Smith and Michael B. Jordan are making I Am Legend 2.
Oh, okay. I only saw that once years ago, so I can't really remember.
It's a brilliant movie. I prefer the ending that they used.
Yeah, no, it's such a strange thing, like around the early 2000s, to be like, let's shoot a couple of endings here and just we'll see which one we decide to go with. Like,
roll a dice and hope for the best.
Yeah. Question, just going back to Black Christmas, did you see the recent Black Christmas? I don't know, 5-6 years old?
No. I seen it. It's been on a few times, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, I don't really know why they called it Black Christmas. It doesn't really have any.
Oh, it's not. Is it not a remake?
Yeah, the one came out, I don't know, a few years ago.
18, yeah. I think 18 or 19.
Yeah, and it's girls in a sorority, but there's like no, it doesn't connect to the other ones at all. So I don't know why they called it Black Christmas really, and it's not very good
Oh,
either.
they're just popping off the names.
Yeah.
They did a similar thing with Wrong Turn, the new Wrong Turn.
No, I won't have a bad word said about Wrong Turn.
No,
Nor
but
the new
does
one.
it?
I
No,
like the new one.
But does
not
it have any connection to the old one?
not really.
Apart
No.
from being in the Appalachian Trail, that's about it. But it was a complete hard reboot.
Yeah.
So instead of having the Hilliker brothers, they had a thing called the Foundation, which were like, there's already Amish, or like
Yeah.
kept to themselves. These are like mountain people that live up there and hunt and live off the land.
What I find like a bit annoying about remakes is that they keep remaking films that were good and that
Decent.
people liked. Now, and I can understand the concept. They're like, well, it's already got a fan base, so we've already got some people who are going to come see it. But why not take the films from like the 70s, the 80s, the 90s that didn't really do as well as they should have? Like the plot line, the story was really strong, but the film just didn't do well. Why not take one of them and be like, let's remake this, and we know where the pitfalls are. This is why people didn't like it. This, like, people felt this was too quick or this wasn't done well, and we can just avoid that, and let's make this concept into a good film. I don't know
Yeah.
why they keep taking the ones that were already good. Like, we don't need the ones that are good remade again. Just make the ones that didn't do well and do them well.
Yeah, I completely
Or
agree. And that's why I was annoyed actually when sorry about the move because my battery's going on my laptop. When they brought out this Wrong Turn, because I love the Wrong Turn films. Okay, they go a little bit crazy after
yes.
three. But I don't dislike,
After 3, they went crazy after 1.
well, you know what I mean? They go like a bit more budget, sort of, you know. But again, one of my favorite films, Wrong Turn. So when I watched this new one, and then I went into it with the idea that it was going to be like the original one. I was really disappointed. But actually, upon reflection, I went back, watched it again, disconnecting the other Wrong Turns from my mind. And I did enjoy it, actually. I thought it was pretty good. And I really liked the ending.
I actually done an interview with Jeff Seaman, who was the producer on it,
Right.
and Cheney Morrow, who played Alpha, or
Oh,
played
okay.
Beta, who was the dickhead one of the Foundation Network, was actually fucking with all the kids.
Wait,
So,
who?
like, so when all the kids are actually walking around, and there's one of the mountain people that are just pretty much tormenting them.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah. So I know the guy. I'm quite friendly with Cheney Morrow, who played him.
Right.
You might know Cheney from Haunt. He was the clown in Haunt.
Oh, okay. I watched that again recently because they've just put it on Netflix.
Fucking awesome movie. Awesome.
So good. So good. I love that film. And Hellfest, very similar vibe. Do you like that one?
Yeah. I don't think I've seen that one. Now, I say that, and I probably put it on and sit there after 10 minutes going, no, I've seen this.
Yeah, I do that all the time. All the time. But Hellfest is really good. I like anything that's like scare maze setup.
That allows
Yes.
You know, where people are actually where they think they're not being chased, where they are actually being chased by like psychotic killers. It's perfect.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Right, so we'll keep this going. We'll try something different. Give us a few of your favorite creature features.
Ooh, I'm not a creature feature gal.
Oh, this conversation's going south very quickly here.
I don't typically watch them unless somebody says like I absolutely have to, then I'll watch it. I did watch a film the other day called The Void.
That's good. That's the
That's
the
creature feature, is it?
the ice. Is it the one in the ice?
They're in a hospital.
Oh no, I've seen one called the Void, and it's in the ice, and they undig like a woolly mammoth.
No, it's not that. They're in a hospital and there's something outside. There's like a pregnant woman and a man, and then two random guys coming off the street, and there's people outside, like all dressed in like cloaks and stuff, and they have no idea what's going on. And then there's like a monster thing that's eating people. Have you
All
seen? Have you
right.
seen? No.
I haven't seen it, no. Or don't
Uh,
doesn't sound like I've seen it anyway.
I think it's called The Void.
no.
I'm pretty sure.
Is it the one where they come out in like the white sheets and stuff?
Yes, is that it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I thought they were in black
That
cloaks.
that
I mean,
thing looks like a Jeepers Creepers knockoff.
it's weird to explain actually, and I don't want to tell you too much without giving it away. But it's really highly rated, I think. And
78%.
I'll have to check it out.
yeah, lots of people.
I screenshotted it there.
Yeah, lots of people messaged me saying watch it, watch it, watch it, and then they said it was a creature feature, and I thought, oh, I don't know, but I really enjoyed it. Apart from that, I don't
Well,
really.
Jaws, obviously Jaws is there. Like that's just
Jaws doesn't count. Jaws is just there. That's just a given.
yeah, but it's,
Yeah,
that's it. That's the big creature feature. Like that's the biggest one of the of all. You know.
Dog soldiers.
I'm more of a slasher, found footage, home invasion.
Yeah, no, that's
I-
fair enough.
I'm currently in the mix of doing interviews with the Cryptidverse from Horror Dad's production. So do you know the likes of
Okay.
Bigfoot and the Mothman and stuff?
Oh,
A couple of the lads that I know, they're indie filmmakers and they've made what's called the Cryptidverse. So they have Mothman, Tahoe Joe 2 is coming out this year. What else is there? The Wendigo. These are all made by different people.
oh, okay, that's cool.
They're all found footages. I'll see if I can get you a couple of things and send them over to you.
Yeah, that made me think then, are you covering Fright Fest at Glasgow? Like, are you
What do you
gonna
mean?
cover it remotely, or because you can get screeners and stuff from
I don't even know how to go about that.
oh well, I'll send you the things for it because I wanted to go up there for it, but just wasn't feasible with me moving to London. It's next weekend, I think. Yeah, 7th.
I've seen you talking about that actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go up, you can get tickets, so you could go up, or you can get, because you got a podcast, you can get a press pass. But I said, look, I can't come up. Is there any way you can send them to me? So they've started sending me the links, so I'll let you know. I'll give you the email to get in touch with them.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I know. We the only thing we've ever dealt with anything like that was with Studio Canal a couple of weeks ago. For
Right.
we had Alberto on who directed Baghead.
Oh yeah, what did you think of Baghead? Did you like it?
I did like it. I
thought it was really
was
good,
quite
yeah.
impressed with it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
And
I thought it was really good.
yeah, I think it was. I don't know. I think people were a bit harsh, actually. I thought it was a good film.
You're always going to get that with that kind of movie, aren't you? And we said it to him on the show. I wouldn't take anything seriously off that.
Yeah. What did he say in response to that?
It was like, it is what it is, isn't it? The movie's doing well, so
Yeah, I thought it was good. Even though a lot of people were saying that it was, like Talk to Me, I did think it was quite a unique concept. I didn't feel at any point in the film that it mimicked Talk to Me.
No.
That's what I said to him. I said it's something that's been done before. Like this isn't a new concept. He hasn't come up with something brand new. Like say Saw, like the original Saw, that was a really new concept that no one had kind of done before. And I was like, it's not something like that. This isn't something brand new that we've never seen before. But in the same vein, I never felt like I was like, oh, I've already seen this film. Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes you watch a film and you're like, I've basically seen this film. It's just
Yeah.
a different thing. It's a different monster, or it's a different. And I was like, no, it felt fresh. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I didn't understand the hate when I seen it getting hate online. I was like, I don't understand this. But then again, I didn't get the hate for Night Swim either. Like I didn't think Night Swim was incredible, but I was like, people are really hating on this. And if this came out in the 80s, it'd be one of the most beloved films of all time. It's just that it's been something that's been done before, and it just doesn't deviate away enough from what's been done before to be different. But other than that, it's a perfectly fine film. Like,
Yeah.
I thought The Witch was brilliant.
What was that?
I thought the actual witch in Baghead was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah. Really creepy. Yeah. I thought it was I thought it was really good. With Night Swim, I wasn't that fussed on it, but I gave it a 5 out of 10. I didn't think it was bad film, just
It's about fair, really.
But
didn't
that's
quite.
exactly what we said as well. It's not
Yeah,
bad. There's nothing special about it. There's nothing bad about it.
I found myself a bit bored at times, but
But I think if you hadn't watched, older horror films where things like that had happened before, so say you were someone who was like 13, 14 now and you were just getting into horror and you
yeah,
haven't gone and watched all the old horrors yet, if you see that, it could end up being one of your favorite films because you're like, oh my
yes,
God, that's so good. Because you haven't seen all of the other ones before, so you don't already have a core concept for it. And I think people kind of forget about that. They're like,
yeah,
yeah, okay, these might be not new to you, but they're going to be new to somebody. So, like, you don't need to be like, oh, it's absolutely shit. It's definitely not shit. It's just not anything special either.
It
yeah.
mightn't be your taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's similar when people ask, what's the scariest film you've ever seen, or like what's the creepiest film? And I'm like, well, it's different at different points in your life, isn't it? Because things that I found really scary, like 13 Ghosts, I watched it like, 15 years ago, so I did think it was really scary at the time. And because now I watch horrors all the time, I don't think films are that scary anymore. So it depends at what entry point you're at. Like, that would be a good film for a beginner, wouldn't it? Night Swim and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting. The creepiest film I've ever seen, or the one that scared me the most. I don't know where I'd actually even go with that because I'm so desensitized. Um, like I remember Friday. There was one scene in the original Friday the 13th that scared the fuck out of me, and it was Kevin Bacon's death scene.
Yeah.
You know where he's lying on the bed and he gets the arrow through the neck.
Oh, okay.
That's the only thing I can actually think of that scared the bejesus out of me.
And when did you watch that for the first time?
I might have been about 12.
See, that's what I mean, isn't it? It's like, things I found the first Scream really scary. I thought that opening scene with Drew Barrymore was absolutely horrific and terrifying and just, but obviously it's not that scary now because there's so many other things. I think the only thing in recent years that I have found really scary and I have been like covering my eyes is the Hell House movies because they're quite creepy, the found footage,
I haven't seen them yet.
Oh, I do think they're really good. They're really creepy.
Now, Ian, our other co-host, he loves them. He is
Really good.
raving about them all the time. And the new one only came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I just
late
rewatched
last
that
year.
actually last weekend, the fourth one, and it's I watched it with a friend. She loved it. I was hiding behind the pillow and I'd already seen it, so it must
I'll
have
have to get
been
on
really
to them. I do keep meaning to, and I keep meaning to, but there's
all
just
on
so much
Shudder.
stuff.
Have you got Shudder?
Ted has Shudder.
I have Shudder.
All four of them are on there, so you can watch
Yeah,
them.
well, it basically means that he has Shudder because I'll just give him the login details to watch them. Is basically how this works.
No, but there's I think that's it. As far as I remember when I was younger, that's the only thing. Obviously Jaws, because no one wants to be attacked by a shark. But I love nature documentaries so much that I know there's no sharks like that in the Irish Sea, and I don't get in the sea, so I can't be eaten by a shark.
The Jaws never,
Crazy.
Jaws never freaked me out, because I was just like, that's not gonna happen over here. I knew enough that like over here there wasn't gonna be a shark swimming around like where we grew up, Bray Beach. I was like, there's no sharks here. Like, I'm not gonna get eaten by a shark. I'll do whatever I want. The only one I can remember ever being like scared by, and I can't even remember what it was. It was an episode I think of Goosebumps from years ago, and I was like 7 or 8 watching it, and I remember going to bed and I was fucking terrified. I can't remember what episode and I can't remember what it was, but I was terrified in bed. I was like, I'm so freaked out.
I was going to say, is it the one with Carly Beth where she gets the mask stuck to her face? Because that one freaked me out when I was younger.
It could have been that one. Like, I can't even remember which one it was, but I remember I was freaked out by that. But then after that, like, I don't think there was any film because I didn't watch any of like Friday the 13th or anything until I was kind of 15, 16, and at that point it was kind of like, yeah, none of these are scary because they're not like, this isn't something that could happen to me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'd already, like, my brain had developed to the point of being like, yes, like, I don't need to worry about that happening. That's not going to happen. So in terms of like scary, no. Things like Descent and stuff where people get like lost in a cave and stuff. Now that would freak me
That's
out.
horrific.
I wouldn't be scared, but I'll play. So I've said this to Greg before. I think I might have said it on the show before. Films don't really tend to freak me out. Like I can kind of watch anything; it doesn't really bother me. But what I will do is I'll play horror video games,
Uh,
and I immerse myself completely when I'm playing them. So where other people are just like, it doesn't matter if the character dies because it's a character in a video game. It's not me. That's not how I play when I play those games. That's me. So when I go into something and it's like you have to go and you have to find this ghost or whatever, and the lights turn off, I'm like fuck the get me out, get me out, get me out. I'm freaking out because I'm like fuck, that's me. Even though like I'm sitting here in my room perfectly
yeah,
safe.
perfectly safe. Yeah.
Yeah, but the character is not safe, and I'm like, oh fuck, that's me. Like that's like if I went into this, I'd be freaking out now. So
Yeah, I've
those
seen
are
a lot
that's
of
what gets me.
people stream their horror video games online, don't they? And they are like screaming and shouting,
Yeah,
immersed. So yeah, I can imagine you feeling like that actually.
yeah.
Just
That's the
just
ones that get me.
just before we finish up, then, Annie, obviously it's looking like a great year for her. In the last couple of weeks, we recorded our upcoming horror film episode. What are your, say, top 5 ones that you're looking forward to this year?
Um, so many. Late Night with the Devil comes out
That's David Dastmalchian one.
in a few weeks, and I can't wait. I don't know if it's having a theatrical release in the UK. I think it might be going straight to Shudder. I'm not
Even
sure.
better.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Interesting.
But that one I'm really looking forward to. What else? The First Omen. I think
no.
April release. I love the Omen film, the original, and then the remake one. I love that. So I'm excited about that. We're getting another Saw film, Saw 11.
I should have
Yeah.
said before I got you to pick that Saw doesn't count.
Okay, I leave Saw out.
But
Um,
Saw does look like if 10 is anything to go by, 11's going to be unreal.
And we've had what's his name? Detective Hoffman confirm that he's back with Choke.
Costas.
Yeah, I know. So I am excited about that. What else do I want to watch? Oh, I saw a trailer. Well, I saw a teaser trailer for one called Long Legs. I have no idea what it's about, but I'm intrigued. It looks good. I don't know when that's coming out. And what else? What else am I looking forward to? Oh, The Strangers remake. There's
Yeah.
a trilogy, isn't there? I think the first one comes out. Yeah.
This is one we brought up on the show where it didn't need a sequel, and I don't think it needed another one, but I'm gonna
No.
watch it anyway.
Yeah. I'll watch it anyway. But yeah, I've only seen the first Strangers. There's a Pray at Night as well. Is there a second
Two
one?
is okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I did enjoy the first one, and I feel like the first one could have just been a standalone film.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'll be watching, and any masked
wa-
killer film, and I'm all over it.
Yeah.
You left out Ghostbusters there now. You left out Ghostbusters.
Yeah, not so excited for that one.
Really?
Oh, I
Oh,
love
no.
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters all the way. And then obviously the big one, I think that'll probably be the biggest one of the year, will be Maxine, if it actually drops during the year.
Yeah, I put it in my films coming for 2024, but I actually wasn't sure if it was coming in 2024.
Yeah, they haven't said yet. So
We intently left it out of the episode a couple of weeks ago there because of that. We were like, I
Yeah.
can't find a definitive date, so I'm
No.
not putting it in.
And there's
But-
talks of another Insidious sort of chapter or installment with the
I'm
potential
okay. I'm okay with that after watching the last one.
I thought the last one was okay. I don't think it was as bad as people said, but was it?
Last key was horrendous.
Yeah, I didn't like that one. I thought Red Door was okay.
It was better than Last Key.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. That was
Um,
very poor.
but what we'll do is we'll finish it up there. Annie, thanks for taking time out of your evening. Obviously, we're on the same time zone, so it's not too bad.
It's way past my bedtime.
Next time we have you on, we'll do it earlier.
Thank you. Just for
But,
reference, it's actually only 11 p.m.
You're welcome back absolutely anytime, even if you want to just come on for a chat like this, or if you found a movie you want to do, let us know, and we'll. Or what I'll do is maybe I'll get the 4 Hell Houses watched, and we'll bring you on for that.
Yeah, I'd love to talk about all of them. Yeah, they're really good. I hope you enjoy
Yeah.
them.
If I don't, I'm gonna slaughter you on social media. But
It's not just me saying they're good. A lot of people are saying they're good, okay? So don't hold it against me.
Women shouldn't
no.
watch horror, Greg.
Oh, this stupid woman, what's she recommending?
hey, you said that, not me. But do you want to promote your pages there before we finish up?
Yes, so I'm Annie's Horror on Instagram, and on TikTok you can find me at horrorobsessed_.
And then I think you have Letterboxd as well, do you?
I do have a Letterboxd. Ooh, what's my name? Horror Obsessed on Letterboxd as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do try and keep it up to date, because if I don't, I forget that I've watched things. So the second I finish, I'm like, quickly
Yeah,
put
because
it
every
in.
single time I log into the thing, because we do the same, we have a tracker list of everything we watch for the year.
Yeah.
And it's like, Annie's watched this. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Annie's
Like,
watched
there's
films
me.
today.
There's me, and I'm happy enough to float on 50 movies so far for the year.
I don't
That's
want
insane. 50
And
for the
then-
year already is insane, Joe.
You're on more than I am, I'd say.
I don't know what I'm on.
Yeah.
There's no goal. I'm just slotting them in when I got time, really. So
Yeah, absolutely. But well, as I said, thanks for taking the time out of your day. We'll line you back up for another episode in a little while, and we'll certainly try and do it earlier for you.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
As I say this now, she'll fall asleep, falling off the camera watch.
I've just perched myself on the edge of the bed, so once this is over, I can just close the laptop.
Just drop off.
But what we'll do is, folks, we'll finish this the way we finish every single Friday night. In the words of the great George A. Romero, ladies and gentlemen, stay scared.